You got a million ideas in your head. You started some, wrote down others, dreamed about others, but you never got across the finish line. And have you ever asked yourself the question, why can't I just finish what I started? This video is for you. And it's about why you never finish. I'm going to go ahead and just give you the answer right off the cuff. You know why you never finish? Because you never get out of bed. TC, what in the world are you talking about never getting out of bed? I get up and I go to work and I go to my job, I go to my cubicle, I go to my desk, I run my business, I serve my clients. I do get out of bed. But I want to use that in a different context to show you the first part of the E3 framework, because the first part of that is exposure. The reason why you never finish is because you lack exposure. You never get out of bed. Exposure is like getting out of bed. Well, TC, why in the world do you say that? You know, I got my trusty dusty whiteboard with me. So let me go ahead and just put this on the board for you. Yeah, let's talk this. I got pretty decent handwriting, so exposure, right? Exposure, yeah, there it is, there it is. Why is exposure like getting out of bed? Here it is. Exposure wakes you up. Oh, that's terrible. There it is. Exposure wakes you up. Oh, what in the world? You're losing me, TC. You're losing me. Okay, I wake up, then what happens? Okay, waking up is a process. If you're like me and you got to wake up at a certain amount of time, in order to wake up, the first thing that comes is a sound. And whether that's your alarm clock or you know, parent or kids, you know, it's a sound. Pets, it's a sound that wakes you up. Why is that so important? Because the sound, it feeds your faith in what you believe. Faith comes by hearing. And so the first thing that opens your eyes is a sound. Who is speaking to you? What are you listening to? What audiobooks? What are you reading? What are you watching? What sounds are you allowing into your mental capacity to shape your belief and to understand what's absolutely possible and achievable for your next level? The sound. Okay, well, after you hear the alarm clock and after it goes off, or your dog comes and licks your face and barking at you and you need to go outside, or your kids jump on the bed, or you know, your parents yell in the room, whatever it is, after you get over that sound, what's the second thing that happens in the waking process? If you're like me, you know, I'm 50 years old. You just don't hop out of bed anymore. You just don't just get up and do what you got. You sit on the bed for a second, and guess what you do? You know, you stretch. Oh, you might got it. Stretch. There it is. Let me put it up there for you. You stretch. Because watch this. A mind that is stretched cannot return to its original form. You can't finish what you've never seen. Stretching, watch this, it prepares you. Yeah. Stretching, watch this, It opens up capacity. Yeah, to prevent injury. Yeah. That's what that does. So when you're stretching, your stretching gets you ready for what's about to take place. And so that's why when you see what you haven't seen before, it stretches the capacity of your mind and lets you know that what you're seeing is absolutely possible. And, you know, I have this analogy that I use, that the first time that I got on the plane, And I flew first class. I was upgraded from Delta Airlines to a first class seat. I was flying back from the Virgin Islands, and man, it was a wonderful experience. I was on a Boeing 757-200. Man, I never forget it. And I'm just sitting there, man. They're giving you all the warm towels, and your table is in the armrest, and you getting drinks out of a real glass with real ice, and they're calling you by your last name. I was like, man, this is amazing. I was exposed to something different. But the first thing I heard before I sat in the first class seat was a sound. They said, Mr. Daniels, you've been upgraded to a first class seat. And then when I got in the larger seat, I was able to stretch my legs. I got in a bigger space. I was able to do more. My capacity expanded. Yeah. And man, it was a wonderful experience flying back into the States first class. I had a wonderful meal. Everything was amazing. But let me tell you what happened. The next time I took a flight, it wasn't first class. It was, I think, Delta Comfort. But Delta Comfort is not first class. Let me tell you something. I got a pit in my stomach. I'm like, man, I had to walk past those first class seats. And it was borderline depressing, man. Let me tell you something. Because you know why? My mind had been stretched, and it didn't go back to comfort or main cabin. And I'm telling you, in your business, in your organization, or your team development, you're seeing this and it's stretching you right now, and you cannot go back to the same level that you were in. Yeah, I want to make you uncomfortable so that you can get comfortable in the new level that you're about to operate in. And that's called above average. Yeah. Okay, all right. Remember I told you getting out of bed? Let me draw me a little bed here. You know, a little stick bed there, Let me put a Posturepedic mattress up there, a couple of pillows up there, yeah, all the good stuff. That is, staying in bed. You got to get out of bed. Let me get a little thicker headboard up there. Yeah, you got to get out of bed because, you can't just lay there. Because the sound, what it does, it wakes you up. It wakes you up. I'm seeing something I ain't never seen before. And then stretching, then that thing is just, watch this, it's opening up my capacity to a new reality, to what I believe is absolutely possible and achievable. Now watch this. I heard the sound. I got to stretch. But you know what? When most people stretch, like me, if you like me when you stretch, you still sitting on the side of the bed. So to complete this process of getting out of bed or being exposed, guess what? Guess what the third thing you got to do? You got to put some action to all this kind of stuff. And now, once you get out of bed, the first thing you do is you take steps. You got to start generating momentum to make it through the day. That's why you never finish, because you hadn't even got out of bed. How do I get out of bed, TC? You got to hit a sound of something that wakes up your creativity and your imagination. Then once you see it, you can't unsee it. It stretches the possibilities of your mind and it ignites your creativity. And you know what? There's something, it's inaudible, but there's a real feeling there to say, man, you know what? I deserve more than what I'm doing and what I'm receiving. And so now I got to put, watch this, I got to put the hustle behind this muscle. That's an old saying. But anyway, it's just like when I missed that first class seat on that second flight after I've flown it before and got upgraded, it wasn't that I was like, some people call me bougie, whatever you want. Yeah, I just like comfort. But I realized, man, no, I can sit there because I've done it before. Yeah, and that wouldn't leave me. And so when I walked past it the second time, I'm like, man, I'm walking past a place that I was destined to succeed in. And I said, I got to get back there. And that's what I'm hoping that this lesson is doing for you right now, is making you so uncomfortable with just accepting. You're just glad to be on the plane. but you sitting squeezed in tight next to the window of average, and you nestled in between I'm okay and mediocrity. No, there's a seat assigned to you, but you just got to put the work in. No, you got to be exposed. You got to, wait a minute, what you got to do? You got to get out of bed. Get out of bed. Yeah, that's what you got to do. And that's why you never finish. This is just one part of the framework that I'm talking about. And I'm going to drop the link in the comments. And if you want the rest of this framework, I'm telling you, I guarantee you, I can tell you how I turned $30 into 7 figures worth of value. I can tell you that. Absolutely. It worked for me, and I ain't nobody special. I'm just a regular person living a real life. And watch this. Not only that, I got out of bed. Yeah. Hey, this is TC. Listen, I hope this video has helped you, and I'm looking forward to dropping more fresh, helpful content such as this on the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Let me know how this thing is helping you, because I'm telling you, more content is coming just like this. This is TC. Remember, live a life so that others can say, now that right there, that is hope in motion. Until the next video, have a great one.